Welcome and a big congratulations on purchasing your blueprint. Let's go make some money. Now in this video, I wanted to make it very simple, explaining exactly how the business model works and how you can implement the knowledge to help you get started today. And just so you guys know who I am and why you should listen to me, I've been doing this for 10 years now. And as you can see on the screen recording, these are a few of my clients that I'm actively mentoring right now. With multiple clients under the company, we've helped over 100 mentees start the exact same business model. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into the blueprint. And remember, this video is primarily aimed for you to use alongside the blueprint so you can get the best out of it. So of course, phase number 1. So I work and stick to bio, which is the 3 pillars of success that I created. The first section in the 3 pillars is B for brand. Now, if Nike opened a hotel, you have an idea what type of hotel it would be, maybe even how it would look. The reason is because Nike is a brand, not just a logo. Not just a catchy tagline, it's a culture, it's an identity. Now the question is, how do you want others to perceive you? How do you want others to perceive your brand? You'll be raising money online, so your online presence needs to exist. It needs to be seen, and I want it looking credible. Because when you have a brand, people will come to you. When you have a brand, you don't need to sell. Nike doesn't sell, you buy. Nike doesn't even use affiliate marketing or Google adverts. Lamborghini doesn't even advertise. In terms of branding, this is our number 1 goal here for every one of you that's purchased this blueprint. We must take branding seriously and we must treat it with the utmost importance. Another example is Rolls-Royce. They don't sell cars. They sell status, luxury, success. Red Bull doesn't sell the taste of the drink or the benefits of the energy. You know the brand as excitement, youth, and adventure. Make sure you know your brand's personality, the voice, the visuals, and the values across all your platforms you decide to use. So now the second pillar of success. I, that's for influence. Knowing your audience and knowing who you're talking to, who you're aiming your message towards, is imperative for raising money. I'll tell you what to say in a moment, but first, you need to find your ideal investor. So a quick important exercise. Write down who is not your ideal investor. Write down who you would not work with and who you wouldn't enjoy having as your investor. An investor who I wouldn't work with is someone who wants an update each hour and is a worrier due to inexperience. This type will not let the work progress smoothly, especially if I'm updating every hour. How many updates can you give someone in one day, let alone 1 hour? So my ideal investor has experience, thinks positively, and has an understanding of the process. Find out who your investor is, and then you will know how to talk to them. I'll give you a piece of advice that helped me more than writing down who you don't want to work with. So here it is. Your ideal investor is a version of yourself. This can be past or present. Your ideal investor is a reflection of who you are and who you have met. We've all heard it, be yourself. The reason this is so important in terms of business and raising money is because if you put on a persona, you'll reflect the persona. The clients will then be attracted towards this instead of you. They'll be attracted to the persona, but your client is a reflection of you. So if you're pretending to be someone else, you'll attract the wrong investor, and this will only lead you down what would be a rocky road. You may not even like the client you attract because they're attracted to the persona and that's not you. That's why it's so important to be you. Business is about relationships. Create the right relationships. Now for pillar number 3. This is your offer, your promise. Now the methods in this blueprint and the success is its own proof. The content in this blueprint works. I've used them, fine-tuned them, and now I preach them. Your offer needs to be something you're confident you can deliver, but also is the solution to your investor's problem. Picture it like this. You're a doctor, the investors have a problem. They need to tell you what the problem is. Why are they investing? And this will help you create the solution. They want to retire early, they want to leave a legacy to their children, they want to make their parents proud who have left them some inheritance, they want to get to their goal, they want to make their money working for them better, rather than leaving it in the bank, which is slowly deteriorating. Why are they investing? When you understand what they want, you can create your offer. Moving on to phase number 2, where the money's hiding. This is a very interesting section because a lot of people misunderstand a lot of things around this part, and they believe that it's very difficult and believe when you start out or grow your business that it will be almost impossible. And with many strategies that's true. You have a lot of competition, but in OPM, other people's money, think about it. How many people do you actually know that are raising money and giving returns to investors? They might have heard the term here and there, but taking it seriously? Probably not, if at all. So in order to get started and raise money, it is very simple. Well done on purchasing this blueprint, but I mean it when I say this. Take action. I really recommend you get started today, because if you don't implement what is in this clip, and you leave it for a couple months or a couple years, this is just going to be one of those business models that you see and you don't really take action on, and then 2 or 3 years later down the line you think, I wish I started because it was actually very simple to get into and make money. So don't make that mistake. Or if you're watching this and you've made that mistake with other hype trains, don't miss out on this one, because although this isn't a hype train, time is not of the essence. Now moving on. The most effective way to attract investors, or as I called it in the blueprint, socials for success. This will only happen if you're posting content, if you're putting your image out there, posting on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, like how I am. Post on Facebook and YouTube, I do videos and written content, and I get a ton of messages from investors wanting to invest in me. Another effective way to attract investors is someone you know. In the blueprint, I called it the inner circle. It can also be called the 3-foot rule. People you already know. They already know you, or you have mutual connections. You already like, know, and trust each other. So the chances of them agreeing to work with you is way, way higher than just a random person, and it increases your chances dramatically. In the blueprint, I've also listed other creative ways to raise capital. Phase number 3, you must break through the noise to stand out from the crowd, or you'll be treated like everyone else. You'll break through the noise when you create a following and create attention. Then we can monetize this attention and raise money. So advertising, or what I call it, knowing how to get leads, is a skill you must have. Even if you had a full day with me instead of just this high value recording, it's going to be hard, almost impossible to give you all that I could. I'm good, but one clip isn't going to change your life. You need more than that. And on my coaching program, we break down further what I'm going to share with you now. Whilst this is going to be extremely valuable, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Through your content, you want to educate, solve problems, and add value. You'll build a bigger pool of people that trust you and want to invest. So as it says in the blueprint, you must first become a marketer when you run your own business. And I've helped you with your first 10 pieces of content. This will help you get noticed, but if you can keep this up for 30 days, one per day, you will start to get results and raise a lot of money. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Use these headlines and speak on them the way you wish. I'm only giving examples of what I would say. You speak on them the way you want to. So here's your first one. Property versus savings in the bank. Here I will talk about the return that you're actually getting in the bank and how your money is deteriorating year in, year out. So I would say put that into property because you'll get a better return and you'll hedge inflation. I would go along the inflation route. Here with recession, I would go along the lines of you can't save your way through recession. You're going to need to make money. We could also talk about being prepared and how that in many recessions, there is always an opportunity. Knowledge is power. With this, I would go a bit further and say knowledge isn't power unless you use it correctly. Or the more you learn, the more you earn. And how important it is to get the knowledge. Whether you like it or not, knowing is better than not knowing. In some occasions, knowledge can cost. So you may be providing a solution with your knowledge and charging for that. But as expensive as knowledge can be, compare that to not having the knowledge. Procrastination. With this, I'd go along the lines of do today what others won't so you can have tomorrow what others can't. We've all heard that saying. I would elaborate on that. Also as well, you're only kicking that can further down the street if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing today. I would mix it in with a bit of discipline too. Staying focused. With this one, I definitely go along the lines of what you focus on grows. If you're focusing on negative shit, that's going to grow. If you're thinking positively, that too will also grow. So think about your bank balance, think about going to the gym, and think about your knowledge. The inflation crisis. Again, I would come back to making sure you're prepared. When an inflation happens, there is always opportunity. So crisis and opportunity are one in the same, so make sure you're prepared. Stop selling and start helping. This is around probing and questioning your investor. So going back to the doctor scenario, and they're your patient. You need to understand what the problem is so you can fix it. So that is problem solving, not selling. So that is providing help. That's not selling. Assets and liabilities. This stems from the great book Robert Kiyosaki, knowing what the difference is between something that makes you money and something that costs you money. Surround yourself with positivity. With this, I'd go along the lines of you are an average of the 5 people you hang around with. You need positivity around you because whether you like to admit it or not, negativity around you will only bring you down. When you have a positive mindset, you'll focus on solutions, not problems, and you'll start to attract money. Why should you invest in property? With this one, I'd keep it very simple and explain how safe it can be and how you can create generational wealth for your children. So I hope you enjoyed your blueprint. Remember, excuses will always be there for you, but opportunities won't. Success requires courage. This is hard work, but I've simplified the process for you. Do not overcomplicate it. On my coaching course, I hammer this home daily. You'll not want to do some things, but remind yourself why you're doing it. Keep your eyes on the prize.